remember a while back you had written a story, and to me, this was extremely interesting. And I thought if I ever get a chance to talk to her, I'm going to ask about this and see, how this all came about in life and what. But your name, Jen Silver, it's not actually your given name or your birth name or
No,
married name or anything like
no.
that. So,
But
how
it
did
is
you
my
become
legal
Jen
name.
Silver? It is your
It is
legal
my
name.
legal name. Yes.
That's the most badass part of it too.
Yes.
So tell me about this Jen Silver story and how you became Jen Silver and what the origin of that is. And
Okay.
I think that's pretty
So,
awesome.
you know how you were kind of saying that there's people out there that are like, oh, this isn't possible, or that's not possible, or, things are not going to change, or whatever. When I got divorced, or when I separated in 2016, I went through some really hard times, and I realized I needed my own identity. And I had, I'd been married before, and my identity was around that. And then I was married again, and my identity was around that. And my childhood identity had a lot of negative association with it. And so here I am, I've got 3 names. What am I going to do? Like, I didn't want to be any of them. And I thought to myself, why do I have to? This is a common theme for me, right? Why do I have to do the insurance proceeds model? Why do I have to pick one of these names? Why can't I make up my own name? And, I went in, I'm talking to my buddies like, Jen, it doesn't work that way. You don't just get to like randomly choose a name. And I go, why though? Why can't I? If it's so easy as a woman to just change your name when you get married, why can't I change it again when I get divorced? I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. So I went home and I did research, and I knew that it was going to cost me $2,500. And I had to run an ad in the paper for 2 weeks, notifying anybody that I changed my name, so that if there was somebody looking for me, from a debtor standpoint or a warrant standpoint or whatever, there was a record of it.
It's a good idea.
And so I come into I'm sitting with my buddies again, and I'm like, okay, I did the research. This is what it's going to take. And they're like, only you don't give up on stuff like this. And I said, well, I really don't see that I have another option. Like, I do not want those names. Like, I have to do this. And so I said, so now we got to pick a name. And they're like, how do you pick a name? And I go, well, I've come up with 3 criteria. It has to be easy to say and easy to pronounce. It has to be memorable, right? Like, not sexy, but like movie star kind of memorable, like memorable. And I don't want to know anybody with that last name, because wouldn't it be really weird, Chuck, if I was like, hey, so Chuck, I'm going to change my last name. I picked Alan. What do you think? Right?
Hey, Chuck Hasselhoff over here. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. But it just would have been a weird conversation. So I started going through, I was Googling last names. I was, I'd come in when I would meet up with my buddies at the bar and have beer, like I'd come in with a different last name, and we'd kind of say it for a while. And then I came in with Silver. I know.
That's awesome. I love this story.
If you ever get to talk to either of them, they'll tell you, like, they thought I was absolutely insane. So I came in with Silver, and they're like, I actually really like Silver. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool, right? Like, it fits all of those things. Like, it's, I don't know anybody with that last name. Now, granted, I did not know that it came from Jewish descent, and we'll go there in just a second. But, and so I changed my name on social media. I was totally prepared to go through the legal system and do it the way it was supposed to be done. And I go to mediation for my divorce in December of 2017. And she says, what are you going to do about your last name? And I said, oh, you don't have to worry about it. I made one up. And she's like, what? And so I tell her the story real quick about not wanting to be associated. And she's like, literally verbatim, that is the coolest fucking story I've ever heard. And I'm going to do you a huge favor. And I'm like, okay. She goes, I'm just going to put it in your divorce papers. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, I'll just say that you wish to change your name to Jennifer Marie Silver. I go, you can do that? She goes, yeah, the judge will sign it. It'll be done. You'll be good. And here I am, Jennifer Marie Silver.